Have you ever wanted to know the anime characters that NBA players represent? Probably not, that'd be a little weird, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because I'm a nerd who loves both basketball and anime, so I'll give this kinda strange idea a shot. Nikola Jokic would be Saitama from One Punch Man. Not only are both of them bald, but they have such similar personalities. Jokic is one of the most humble players who never starts fights and only wants to be with his frickin' horses. His beginnings were also unlike how you'd expect it to be considering how damn good this dude is now. Jokic was an obese child who didn't have too much of an interest in basketball, and what's crazy is he went from somebody you would never expect to touch a basketball to debatably the best player in the NBA right now. He leads by his actions on the court and doesn't argue much or boast about how good he is. He's also funny as hell.
Did you do anything fun over the last 2 days with no practice?
No.
What'd you do?
I've been being in my home, I was watching Pokemon for 5 hours.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
If you've ever watched One Punch Man, you would know that Saitama shares a whole lot in common with Jokic. I didn't even have to think twice about the anime character that Jokic would be because it's so obvious that it's Saitama. Saitama also grew up from humble beginnings as a regular 9-to-5 office worker who had no idea how to fight. He ended up training so hard, his hair fell off and became the most overpowered character in the show somehow, similar to how Jokic is also the best in the NBA. Let's not mention that both personalities are pretty damn close too. Saitama and Jokic both have the same exact Myers-Briggs personality type, which is the ISTP. People with the ISTP personality type are introverted, calm, straightforward, independent, lacking sensitivity, and being very honest. They live by their own terms and aren't afraid of others' thoughts about them. I think that pretty much sums up both Jokic and Saitama, who share those traits and have a great sense of humor as a bonus. Giannis is Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Giannis is one of the most dominant NBA players in history and has accomplished a lot in the league within just a few years. He's won 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, and a ring. He also goes by the nickname the Greek Freak, showing how alien this dude is. Giannis's brothers are also very similar to him athletically because he has a brother Thanasis who's playing in the NBA on the same team as him, and another brother Kostas who played a few years ago in the NBA as well. He has one more brother, Alex, who plays pro basketball, but he plays in an overseas Lithuanian league, so they're literally all gigantic alien athletes. Giannis and his brothers are more like Super Saiyans instead of actual humans, just like Goku is. Now onto their mentalities. They both can relate in their extremely competitive nature. They care most about getting better and winning at the highest level, and they don't take their losses easily. When the Bucks underperformed, Giannis opened up earlier this year saying it was the hardest year of his NBA career. The man just wants to win, similarly to Goku, who would challenge the best fighters to get to the top of the ladder. Giannis and Goku can both relate in the fact that they're kind-hearted, loyal to their people, and confident and determined to be the best they can be and win as much as possible.
What is your plan for the next year or two, or do you want to stay in Greece? What would you like to do?
We'd like to go to Spain and or go to Spain and go to the draft and try to work and become an NBA player.
Both started off as underdogs and worked harder than everyone else to become legendary. Goku has to be the anime equivalent to Giannis. There's no other characters that similar to Giannis but Goku. And Giannis's teammate, Damian Lillard, can have a case made for him being represented by Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Now, I haven't finished Attack on Titan, but I've watched a good bit and I can't help but notice that Lillard and Levi kind of have some traits in common. They both have the ISTP personality type assigned to them and both have a grit and quiet confidence. Lillard has always been known as an extremely loyal guy, very skilled at basketball, and a player with a strong set of principles, which you can clearly see from all his rap music. On the other hand, he's also a cold-blooded killer to his opponents on the court. He'll treat his teammates right, but he's gonna go and destroy the other team no matter what. Remember a few years ago when he ended the Thunder's hopes and dreams with that crazy game winning shot. This man has always had a confident and killer aura equipped when it comes to other teams. But he's a great leader and teammate, similar to Levi, who's a leader that does good by his team and is willing to eliminate any threats without hesitation. Levi is extremely good at slaying the Titans and is shown to be one of the most skilled fighters in the series. He displays an aura like Damian Lillard with his skills, leadership, cold-bloodedness, and loyalty. Guys, let me know if this is a stretch, but I'm picking Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen to represent Anthony Edwards, and I'll explain just why. Anthony Edwards came into the league with a lot of potential, and his hard work on top of his gifted abilities have gotten him to be one of the current best players in the NBA. On the personality side, he's really unpredictable, honestly, very confident, an energetic and funny guy to be around too, but he will roast, troll, and trash talk anyone he wants to. So he's a pretty funny guy and confident, but also has that meanness to him, and it reminds me a lot of Gojo, who like Edwards was born with incredible talent and potential and quickly climbed to be the strongest sorcerer in the world. Gojo is no doubt one of the funniest guys in the show too, and is always making jokes and trolling other characters. He doesn't ever forget to boast about how strong he is and has a bit of an arrogance to him, but he backs it all up in fights by really showing how powerful he is. And Edwards also backs up his words for the most part. Yes, I know the Wolves got smacked by the Mavericks, shut up. Anyway, yeah, he mostly backs up his words, so they aren't just frauds who go around all day talking about how great they are and then fail to actually show that. They're both just plain old assholes, but Edwards and Gojo are still so likable, and there's just no way to dislike either of them. They're both fan favorites. But do you want to know who's not a fan favorite? Yeah, Kevin Durant and his anime counterpart Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I really think KD has a better humor than Vegeta. He's actually a pretty funny dude. I'm not going to take that away from him, but damn, that dude has some comparison issues because he couldn't help but join a super team, obviously, at every chance he had. He left each team he's been on for what he thought was a better team and had lost a lot of respect for that. He's been hostile on social media with his burner accounts and is just a sensitive and bitter dude, honestly. He's one of the most gifted and best players of all time, but has shown envy to other players, and he lets all the negativity get to his head. He may show some arrogance on the outside when he said he was God to Jalen Suggs, who talked about it on a podcast, by the way, and said that he's in the NBA GOAT conversation, but deep down, let's be real, he gets affected by the slightest roast and holds resentment towards other people for what they've done to him. I chose Vegeta for him because, like KD, Vegeta is naturally and genetically gifted, yet is jealous of Goku and can't stand to see others succeed more than him. He displays his extreme arrogance over and over, placing everybody else below him, and gets triggered at other characters showing more potential than him. Vegeta hates Goku, but also secretly envies Goku's strength and would never admit that himself because he's got a massive ego. These are all the reasons I chose Vegeta to represent Kevin Durant.
And our gymnastics team is so dominant that Kevin Durant told me he wants to play for them next year.
Now on to the GOAT and my favorite player, Kyrie Irving, who I think has a lot of similarities to Gaara from Naruto. When Kyrie came into the league, he was known as an extremely skilled young player with a lot of potential. He was a good guy and a fan favorite because of his ball handling and creativity on the court, but ended up going villain mode when he wanted to leave the Cavs to shine on his own team. There were so many controversies with Kyrie, and he shared a lot of opinions that had the media hating on him for a long time. I remember it started off with him saying he thought the earth was flat, and then also some time later promising to stay with the Celtics and then leaving for the Nets a year later after he said that. He got into a lot of trouble off the court and was seen as some sort of sports villain by the media and even fans too. It was not until he came to the Mavericks that the controversy kind of started to die down. He's recently been pretty quiet and calm and has been able to reclaim a bit of his status as a fan favorite. It's pretty safe to say that he's matured off the court, and Gaara Gaara does strike some similarities with the fact that he was a good kid too, who later turned into a villain due to some traumatic experiences, but later ended up making a full turn into a good guy again, and an ally to the Hidden Leaf Village as well, and someone that Naruto fans just love. His fight scenes are pretty dang cool, just like Kyrie's highlight scenes. We also can't ignore both Kyrie and Gaara's independence and creativity within their expertise. They're truly both unique individuals with lots and lots of talent. Let me know how I did with these comparisons. Thanks.